It's halftime of Week 9 of Texas high school football, and you are here to watch the Cover1 halftime show. We have highlights from games across the state, including the San Angelo Central Bobcats down in the Permian Basin, the Lakeview Chiefs in Big Spring. Right here in town, we got Sterling City and Water Valley. Plus, we'll take you into a game out in Lubbock that's going to mean a lot for the Bobcats, and that's with Friendship and Odessa Permian. But before we do any of that, I'm going to bring in my co-host here, James Bellini. James, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Matt. We got some exciting games to get through tonight. Got some good ones.
Yep, definitely so. And we're going to go ahead and start with the boys down at Old Grande Communications. I guess it's not that anymore. It's some other internet provider. Either way, we're going to go down there for Midland Legacy versus the San Angelo Central Bobcats. James, take it away.
All right, here you go. This is Legacy driving. They've already put up a touchdown. Central defense clamps down there on the goal line. Good stand by Central, but here on this play, Davila will just hand it off, and he will get in for the touchdown. That will increase their lead.
I think that started at, they got it at 14-0 at this point.
I think so, 14-0. There's another touchdown. Central did score in between there. We did not get the highlight, but it was, 14-6 at one point. And here you go, here comes Legacy just driving some more.
Yeah, that's actually that 21 score right there. He didn't get in on that first run. They threw the ball. That's how they got the second score in. That was the third one right there to make it 21-6 at this point. But don't worry, the Bobcats did show up to play tonight, and they are not giving up in this one. Here's a good play right here for those Bobcats.
All right, Tyler Hill's going to take the snap here.
Throws the long ball.
Gets hit while doing it.
Finds his man up the sidelines all the way to about the 25-yard line. Going to set up good field position right here for the Bobcats to help them get in here. Tyler Hill throws it to his outback, and he's going to score. Touchdown. That's going to make it, at that point, I believe it was 21-13.
13.
But then here comes those Rebels. Run offense today has been good for the Rebels. They kind of been running the football all over the Bobcats so far. But it still is early in this one. It's just halftime. Not out of reach at this point. Here's some more points for those Bobcats. Field goal up and good. James, what did it make it at that point?
That was, I think it was 35-16 at that point. Or it might have been 28-16 at that point. Yeah, here you go. Here's another touchdown right before
there's
halftime.
where they get to the 35.
So now it's 35. Here comes Central. This is a little trick play here. He's going to throw it back to Ben Imler, who's going to just overthrow the guy in the end zone. Put a little too much on it, and he was in triple cover for four people were over there.
Yeah, a whole lot of red jerseys over there.
But here's Legacy. They have the ball. Central gets home, gets the sack. He fumbles. They recover. Our guys in the stand, or our guys in the press box, thought they might have had a second left. The refs disagreed. They went into halftime, 35-16. Central's not out of it yet. They can still, fight back. We're going to hear from Chadwick later on, or here shortly. So Central doesn't need to get in this, shootout, but I'm afraid that's how it might end up going here.
Yeah, it's looking like it's a little bit sketchy so far. What was it, 35-19?
35-16.
35-16, so... I mean,
couple scores.
Couple scores to get back in it. It was a good way to get a stop right there at the end. Unfortunately, there was only 1 second left on the clock, so we weren't able to capitalize on it. But Ryan Chadwick and Joe Hyde are there at the stadium, and so let's go ahead and hear from those guys and get their take on this. Here's Chadwick.
All right, Ryan Chadwick, we're out here at halftime at the Midland Legacy versus San Angelo Central at Astound Broadband Field, not Grande Communications Stadium anymore. It's 35-16. What's going on with the Bobcats?
Bobcats got off on the wrong foot tonight, and they fumbled the opening kickoff. And as I said on the pregame show, the Bobcats had to do everything right to be in a position to win this game, and that's just hasn't been the case so far tonight. I know it's only one half of football so far, but Bobcats defense hasn't even come close to any semblance of a stop. Midland hasn't punted the ball tonight. They haven't had any trouble scoring. They basically just take however long they want to get down the field to get another touchdown. Offensively, we only have about 30 yards rushing on the night, which is another thing that I think should have been a little bit different in the beginning of the game. But with that being said, the passing game is electric. Tyler Hill has over 250 yards passing in the first half. He's connected with several of his receivers for touchdowns. A missed extra point has put the Bobcats in a weird position where when they kicked a field goal, they only have 16 points. So Bobcats, if they're going to get back in this game, they absolutely have to get a stop on Midland Legacy's first opening possession of the second half. And then after that, there's going to have to be touchdowns and 2-point conversions to get them back in this. It's not impossible, but this Legacy Rebel team is for real. It is good. They're at home. The crowd's loving it. So
one of the things I've noticed is they have a hurry-up offense going on, and the run game, I mean, it's almost guaranteed 5 yards every time you hand off the ball to Legacy. Is our defense getting tired? What's going on with our defense?
Well, it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B in this situation, right? So on one hand, yes, these drives are pretty long, and the Bobcats offense has been scoring really fast when they do score, so the Bobcats defense has been out there all night, right? So yes, they are tired. On the other hand, in order to contain these dynamic receivers that the Rebels have, the Bobcats have actually switched to a 3-man front on the defensive line, where usually they'll have 2 linebackers on the line as well. Tonight, these linebackers are having to drop back into coverage a portion of the time, so it's just leaving less people for the O-line to block. And let's not take anything away from how good this O-line is. They're all big, they're all strong, they're all mean, and they're kind of manhandling the Bobcats D-line right now. With that being said, Darius Floyd's having another great night. He had more than 10 tackles in the first half. The Bobcats, one bright note, they did have a strip sack fumble recovery as time was expiring in the second quarter. Legacy was looking to go and score again, hang 42 on them before halftime, but Bobcats put a stop to that.
And they should have had a second left on the clock, but the officials didn't agree.
Yeah. They should have had 3 seconds left on the clock, but hey, this is high school. The officials are going to do their absolute best and still mess up 3/4 of the time.
Going back into the locker room, what do you think Coach Crane needs to tell them?
Crane just needs to make a couple adjustments on the defensive front. Like, up this big, Legacy's probably going to run the ball. I think that they need to put some coverage in the middle of the field. That's where they're getting most of their damage done in the passing game, and maybe just have a stunt or 2 planned here and there. All the Bobcats need to do is a couple stops. They get a couple stops, they can get back in this game.
All right, thanks, Ryan.
Thanks.
Thank you, Ryan Chadwick and Joe Hyde. James, I've seen Chadwick many times, and I don't think I've seen him as bummed out as he is right now. He doesn't feel like there's much hope for the Bobcats. I'm kind of optimistic right now. Those Bobcats can score in a hurry. I think there's definitely a chance that maybe something can happen. What do you think? I
think Chadwick said it, that defense needs to get a stop, regardless of what it is. You don't necessarily need a turnover, and just get a stop on downs and get them to punt it to you. We know you can score with anybody, so go out there, get a stop, and then just play your game. The rushing yards is something we know. Coach Crane brought up the offensive line and how much credit they had. In most of the games they've won, they've had over 300 yards rushing. That's something that needs to change. But when you're down 14, or what is it? Or when you're down by 3 scores, you just need to start doing the methodical thing and start stacking good plays on good plays and try to get back into it.
We'll definitely see how this thing ends up turning out. I mean, don't forget, guys, join us on our post-game show at 10 o'clock, and we will have the full highlights. Plus, we'll talk to Coach Crane. Chadwick kind of alluded to, maybe there's some things that are going to be changed up on the defensive front and just some things that they've done defensively to try to slow this offense down in general. Doesn't look like things have been working, so only more changes can come. I just want to let you guys know that this show is brought to you by the Autoplex. Right now is Ram Power Deals. You can get a 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 for 2.9% APR financing for 72 months. Plus, Texas residents get $1,500 in state fare of Texas bonus cash allowance and a $1,000 bonus cash allowance when financed through Chrysler Capital. Hurry now, because this offer is going to end on Halloween. That's October 31st. Go see them at 4310 Sherwood Way. That's at Sherwood Way at Southwest, or give them a call, 325-284-3032. All right, James, moving on to our next game, we have a matchup between the Lakeview Chiefs and the Big Spring Steers. Before we go to Ernesto, I'm going to let everybody know the score is 7-0 at halftime. Right now the Chiefs are down, but what are you kind of thinking as this game has been pretty close, James?
Lakeview needs to put something together. You know, they're not out of it, but they need to keep doing what they're doing. Run the ball, use your 2 running backs, and get a stop on defense. You know, this is a winnable game for Lakeview, so they need to just get it rolling, get it going. You know, they're going to be playing basketball early if they don't.
Absolutely. Okay, remember it's 7-0 there, but for the whole entire take on everything, here is Ernesto Rodriguez.
Less than a minute before kickoff, the Chiefs did not win the toss. Big Spring Steers won. They decided to defer and take the ball in the second half. And now the Chiefs are getting ready to take the field as they are the visiting team in white. Here you go, San Angelo live. Chiefs fans here on their feet, hoping for a victory. Their team can win it on the road and beat these Steers, which has a pretty good home crowd as well. And there comes the Chiefs, making it out the tunnel, getting to their respective sidelines. They are fired up. So after a horse collar tackle with 5:55 to go, ball is going to be spotted inside the 10 for the Steers. Steers are ready to run this thing. They pitch it to the right, and he gets in for a touchdown. First score of the game, 6-0, Big Spring Steers. All right, so here we are. It is halftime in Big Spring. The Lakeview Chiefs are trailing the Big Spring Steers 7-0. So far, it has been a defensive battle. Each team has a couple turnovers that they were able to generate. And if it wasn't for a Lakeview turnover, the Big Spring Steers got great field position. They started at the 47-yard line and managed to take it in for a score. Fortunately, the Chiefs were down at the 2-yard line right at the end of the first half. That the defense held and did not allow the Big Spring Steers to get in. So that's where we're at right now, as the Lakeview Chieftain Band is taking the field first, since they are the visiting team here. We do have a Lakeview crowd on site. Fans did drive all this way to Big Spring, but we are looking forward to a second half. We'll see how it goes.
We will see how it goes. That's pretty crazy, James. So Ernesto just told us Lakeview had a chance to score at the end of that half. They were on their 2-yard line, went for it on 4th down, was not able to get it in. What do you think about that?
I mean, we saw it last week. We saw them move down the field against Brownwood and get in the red zone, and Medley rolled out and just fumbled the ball. They have to finish drives. They have to get in the end zone. They don't want to put up their pads early. And next week is going to be an even, they might.
Their schedule's getting worse and worse and worse. So
it doesn't get any easier in the coming weeks. So
yeah.
You got to win this one. Win this one, and you might squeak in on that 4th seed.
Yeah, and I think they have a chance to. I mean, it's 7-0 right now. The Chiefs have been able to score some points in the past, at least week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Maybe we step it up a little bit, boys, and get a touchdown. What do you think?
I think that's what needs to happen. They need to put this half behind them. Put fourth, on that 4th, and when you're on the goal line, just put that behind you. Be a goldfish, move on, and go get some points.
I'm in. All right. Well, that was the Lakeview Chiefs highlights for the night. And those were brought to you by Davis Woodfin. He's at Edward Jones. He's a financial advisor. He wants to congratulate all the guys from the games tonight. And with that, you can go see him at 4102 South Jackson Street, or you give him a call, 325-249-0082. That's Davis Woodfin. He's a financial advisor at Edward Jones, 4102 South Jackson, or give him a call, 325-249-0082. moving on to our next game here, James. We're going to stay in Tom Green County. We're going out to. Well, actually, no. Yeah, we're in Water Valley. We're staying in Tom Green County.
Tom Green County.
Yeah, Sterling City versus the Water Valley Wildcats. Here we go.
This is just a good play, a good run play by, or a good pass play, my bad. Quarterback goes to Johnny Monreal, gets out, gets some good yardage there to the 40. Here you go, they're down, getting in within spitting distance of the goal line. Gonna roll out.
Pretty big
good pass. I think that's Tristan Heim, number 22. I think that's one of the guys that Coach Cisco was real high on. And Ty Turner just takes it in for the quick touchdown. Here goes Water Valley. They're just gonna throw an interception. This is actually a pick six. He takes it to the house.
That's their quarterback.
No. Their quarterback is 14. Let me check that number real quick. I'm pretty sure that's.
So here's another look here by Sterling City. Fakes the handoff, dumps it off to the fullback coming across, and he's just going to pretty much walk that one in right there. Touchdown Sterling City. They really ran away with this one early, just a halftime score. But right now, I'm just going to break it to you. Water Valley was not able to get in this first half. They were close, but they weren't able to get in. Right there, just another interception by the Wildcats.
Quarterback's trying to do too much out there.
Yeah, there's Sterling City right there with a nice pass and catch right there.
As Anthony Rios down there.
Sends one in motion here. Here's just an option play, quarterback keeper. James, why don't you let them know what is the halftime score for that one right there?
It is 36-0 at this point, or 34-0. Hang on.
Yeah,
34-0. My bad. 34-0. Sterling City. We know they have athletes. We know they have a good coach. Water Valley, new head coach, still trying to put things together. They're still gonna have some growing pains there, but the Sterling City team is just good. Even though it was 6-man, they still went deep in the playoffs, went to state a couple years ago. They still have all that extra experience that some cool schools don't have. And
and I think they're a little bit bigger than that Water Valley school is in number wise.
Yeah,
too.
a little bit.
I think they were kind of obvious that they were about to jump into that 11-man spot, and they've really jumped in well. I mean, we were talking, we think 1 and 2 in that district's probably wrapped up, but El Dorado and Sterling City, that may be the battle for 3 and 4.
Yeah, but they still have to play each other. I think they played each other the last week.
Last week of the season.
So that'll carry a lot of weight there, that last game. That's not for the district championship, but seeding is going to be very important. I think they're going to end up playing probably Miles or someone in the other district. They'll end up playing in the playoffs. So
it's getting that time of the year where we got to start figuring all that stuff out. So that's fun. That's fun. All right, that was our wrap up from the Sterling City and Water Valley game. That was brought to you by Double Dave's Pizza. Remember, their pizza of the month this month is the Slow Burn. That's right. It's a hand tossed original crust, red sauce, ricotta, fresh mozzarella, pepperoni, diced jalapenos, and of course the delicious Mike's Hot Honey. You can go see them. Get it online, Double Dave's. Go look them up online, or you can go see them in the Southwest Plaza. That's at the corner of Knickerbocker and Sunset. Go see them. Give them a call. Whatever you want to do, however you prefer to order your pizza through Double Dave's. All right, James. Moving on to our last game before we get to some scores.
We're moving back to the Little Southwest Conference.
We are going back to the Little Southwest Conference, and this one was a good one so far. Friendship Tigers versus the Odessa Permian Panthers. Started out in a hurry. This is the first drive of the game. There it is. Hutchinson. What were they calling him?
Hutchinson.
Hud. That's what they're called. Hutch. Yeah. Hutch. So that right there is probably going to be, if not the district MVP, maybe the best quarterback in the district for sure for that Little Southwest Conference. He gets in, and that makes it 7-0. Here is next drive here after a Permian 3 and out, and just a bomb up the sideline.
Sling it, man.
In the first half, this quarterback had 287 yards. That's nearly 300 yards in the first half alone. But the Odessa Permian Panthers, as they are, never going to give up. First score of the game for them. Boom, got it in there. 7-14. A nice little run to the outside there. Next drive by Friendship here, and they scored, I think, on their first 3 drives. They punted till late in the second half, and late in the second quarter, excuse me. And that's why right there, when you have playmakers all across the field and that quarterback in the background that can get it off, that is it. This is the first play of the second quarter right here, just a breakaway by Odessa Permian. That one made it 21-14 at that point. Moving on, the Friendship Tigers on their next drive really make a play right here. Look, they're in Lubbock. I know we all saw Crabtree do it in 2000s, but here is one who did it just as good. Make
Tate
a play.
Beals. Tate Beals was that receiver out there.
And that would make it 28-14. They were putting it on him. Looked like they were going to have to punt. They did punt, I should say. But this is the only punt that the Tigers did in the first half, and here's what happened. Fumble. Tigers get on top of the football with only like a minute, 2 minutes left in the half. How can this happen? The Odessa Panthers were undefeated going into last week. They dropped 1 game, and now they're down 28-14 with minutes left in the second half. Here is how the half ended too. Hutchinson takes the snap, looks both ways, going to roll out to his left. Announcer said, he's got plenty of grass. I see the same thing. Touchdown, Friendship. Halftime score there, 35-14, 3-score ball game. Friendship looks like they are going to be staying undefeated in the Little Southwest Conference. James, explain the Friendship Tigers to me, man.
They're just the team of destiny right now. You know, when they played Midland Legacy, they had a couple, a fumble on a kickoff here, they had a fumble on a punt. Things are just going right for them. That quarterback can just throw it. He's very good. Got good receivers out there, and maybe people just underestimate Friendship just a little bit, Matt. Maybe they're just.
I think so. I mean, last year they missed the playoffs, but just because of they
were playing an eligible player.
But their football skills, they were there. So
I mean they're a good team, and this might be the game this team play. It might go through Lubbock.
Yeah, all these schools around here, they better take notice. That quarterback right there is probably a D1 prospect that maybe doesn't even have an offer yet. I'm not sure. So, in my opinion, he's been the best player in the Little Southwest Conference so far this year, and he probably will get district MVP if they end up winning the district for him.
No, it'd be really good to see that him and Tyler Hill go at it when they play. They played last week, correct?
Last week of the season.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Watching Hutchinson go against Tyler Hill. That'll be interesting to say. We might have, that might be a 70-71 game there.
Yeah, talk about a highlight reel.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, that segment right there is brought to you by Angelo Bolt. If you're like me, you got a honey-do list a mile long. So to get everything done on that, whether it's hang some cabinets or make some shelves or whatever you got to do, go down there to Angelo Bolt. They got all your nuts and bolts as well as power tools, including those by DeWalt and Milwaukee. So you're going to want to go see those guys down there. 808 Warehouse Drive. That's Angelo Bolt and Industrial Supply. All right, James, rounding out the night, we will go ahead and run through some scores if you're ready.
I am ready. Let's do this. You want me to go or you to go?
Go for it.
All right. Midland Legacy over San Angelo Central 35-16 at half. They have since restarted play. Clyde Bowie over 7-0. Big Spring over Lakeview 7-0 in the third quarter. Second quarter, Cherokee over Rochelle 70-20.
Yeah, that one's probably final.
I think that's the final one.
That final.
Bront over Trent, that's the final 64-7.
Hey, look at the Longhorns.
The Longhorns stepping up.
Getting them a win.
Miles over Abilene. I just actually saw an update to this one. It was 81 miles, Abilene TLC 0, and it's the fourth quarter.
Yikes.
Erie County 58-0 over Robert Lee.
That's done.
Yep. Vernon over Iowa Park 10-7. Rising Star over Paint Rock 50-0. Sonora over Anthony 21-0.
Imagine going 400 miles just to get your butt whooped.
Now, that might be 400 miles is why you can't get your legs awake when you get there.
There you go.
Sitting on a bus for that long. Reagan County over Ozona 26-7. Colorado City over Winters 20-8. Stockdale over Harper, 41-6. Stockdale's a good team. Early over Grape Creek, 48-0.
Man, those Eagles, they're still hunting their first one. Doesn't look like they're going to get it. Cross Plains and Hamlin, 40-7. Cross Plains is up in that one. Mason and Junction, the Punchers, up big, 42-0. Stanford, Anson, 22-0. Stanford. Moran and Panther Creek, 19-0. Panther Creek. Wink and McCamey, this is one you want to watch. This is probably going to be for the district championship out of that district. 21-13. McCamey is up right now, second quarter score. Ballinger and Brady tied at 20. Ballinger is looking for their first win of the season.
I actually saw an update. That one's 25-25. No. Jim Ned over Breckenridge. That's 25-25.
25-25. We'll get to that update here in a second. Holly and Olney, 21-0 Holly. Alpine and Odessa Compass Academy, 14-3 Alpine. El Dorado, Iran, 21-0. The Eagles are up at home. San Angelo TLCA versus Wall. Wall's up big, 48-0. Millsap Eastland, 27-14 Millsap. Talar and Banks, 29-0 Talar.
Sterling City over Water Valley, 34-0. Albany over Roscoe, 42-0. Midland, Odessa Midland, Midland's up.
Who will get last place in the Little
16.
Southwest Conference?
Well, it looks like Midland right now. For San Cristobal, there's an update that Cristobal's actually up by 6 in that one, 6-0. Comanche over Dublin, 49-0. Menard over Very Best, 30-8.
And Friendship Permian, 35-14. Wolford Friendship is up. Brownwood and Lubbock Estacado. Estacado is down to Brownwood, 24-7 Lions lead. Merkel Jacksboro, 36-7 Jacksboro. Lorraine and Blackwell, 8-6. Richland Springs, 2-0. That's final. I'm not sure if that's a forfeit or what's going on there. Crane, Tornillo, same issue there. So go see more scores like that. Go on SanAngeloLive.com/scores. We're the only media outlet here in San Angelo that's going to have scores on their homepage. You cannot find it anywhere else but San Angelo Live. We're going to keep you guys up to date with everything. This has been our halftime show. Before we go, James, do you have anything else that you want to talk about before we go?
Keep grinding, Cristobal. You know, you can that might not quite be this. You know, Sonora is still a good team, but this is, you know, if Cristobal locks away Forsan, that'll go a long way towards getting them into that first seed.
Yep, so it's all a matter of time before we find out. This is then the halftime show. This show is brought to you by the Autoplex, All-American Chevrolet, Angelo Bolt Davis, Woodfin over there at Edward Jones, and, of course, Double Dave's Pizza. I'm Matt Trammell, and James Bellini is my counterpart here. We will see you guys.